On today's video, we will be discussing Gypsy Rose life after lockup.
Who was that? You text him.
I don't care.
Delete it then.
I don't want to be controlled.
You're mad at me because I can
Hello
fight
everybody
it.
and welcome back. Listen, I wasn't planning on doing this video. I wasn't really going to talk about it on my channel, but I got sucked into the people posting it on the different social medias, so I thought I'd just come on here and do a video. So Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup is essentially a docuseries following Gypsy Rose Blanchard as she leaves prison and has to now live out in the free world. Like I said, I was not initially that interested in the show. I had watched several documentaries about the actual case involving Gypsy and her mother, and I did think it was a fascinating, horrific, terrible true crime story. When Gypsy was released, I didn't understand what the big deal was. I wondered, why are thousands of people wanting to make this woman the next celebrity when she just went to prison for the murder of her mother? I understood the amount of abuse that she went through and that it was so wrong. Her mother clearly had a mental disorder and should have been held responsible. I also want to say that if you're a Gypsy Rose fan, this video probably isn't for you because I'm going to call her out. So let's get started. Gypsy and her mom, Dee Dee, had deceived hundreds of people in organizations that Gypsy was sick. They said that she had every disease under the sun and that she didn't walk, so she used a wheelchair. And as a result of this, they were able to get thousands upon thousands of dollars. They even got a house made for them, going to Disney World and here and there and going on private planes. So it was a lot. She never had any of these diseases, though. Dee Dee subjected her to countless unnecessary surgeries, which, by the way, how were the doctors able to just operate on a person who truly isn't sick? I'll never understand that.
Where are you going today?
I'm going to Children's Mercy Hospital to see my
Dee Dee had so much medication in her house that it looked like she was running her own pharmaceutical company. Anyway, I'm not going to linger too much on this because you guys already know the story. She was not sick. She could walk. Eventually, she gets access to the internet. She runs away with a boyfriend. Long story short, she orchestrates her mother's death. She practically made her boyfriend do it. And it will never sit well with me that she manipulated a young man with autism. He was autistic, you guys. Severely autistic. He didn't fully know the severity of what he was doing. But when you have a boy that's autistic and you have this other person saying to him, I love you, the only way we will be together is if you do this, well, he ended up doing it. And that's the most disturbing part for me, honestly, even more than the actual act. It's the manipulation to a vulnerable person and the way she used this man. And the reason I bring this up is because it will help me make the point that I'm trying to make about Gypsy's behavior on the Lifetime series. So the show begins with Ryan picking up Gypsy. Ryan is Gypsy's husband, who she got married to while she was in prison. He had to drive all the way to Missouri because he lives in Louisiana, and he picks her up in the middle of the night. They were so excited to be together out in the real world. So we see Gypsy reunite with her family, which includes her dad, Rod, stepmom, Kristy, and half-sister, Mia. And it is great to see that she has a very strong support system. You can tell that her dad is trying really hard to rewrite the wrongs that he made. Kristy seems like she truly does love Gypsy as a daughter, and Mia is really happy to have a sister. And it's interesting because Gypsy is way older than Mia. And she's way older than what she looks like too, by the way. She's actually 33. Mia's 23. She's 2 years older than me. I am 21. And I find Mia to be very pretty, very nice. But although Gypsy is older in age, in a lot of ways, Mia acts as a big sister by showing her all the things that Gypsy doesn't know. But let's get back to Ryan. So Ryan Anderson married Gypsy while she was in jail. He was pen paling her, which I personally do think that's a little weird to a certain extent. But nevertheless, he did, and he's a special eds teacher. Ryan comes across as a little overbearing, clingy, corny, and even a little creepy, but I don't think he has a single evil bone in his body. I just think he's a little bit socially awkward.
How to Gypsy Rose in the first place?
You know, I used to work in a hospital before I was a teacher, and COVID had happened and our clientele dropped so fast. and a popular show was out, Tiger King and my friend. We were just sitting there bored, and she said she wanted to write him, and I said, just, okay, fine, write him, and I'll write Gypsy Rose Blanchard. We'll do it together. And never thinking that she would one day be my wife. So it kind of was kind of amazing how it happened.
Wow. And what happened with your friend and Tiger King?
She actually didn't do it. She chickened out. But I just went with it. I was like, you know, I saw Mommy Dead and Dearest, her HBO documentary, 3 years before, and then I rewatched it when COVID hit, and just I thought she was beautiful and loved her story. And the first page of my letter was telling her what her story meant to me, and then I ended it with, "It's not fair that everybody knows so much about you and you know nothing about anybody else." So the second page, I just let her have it about me. And then at the very end, I said, "I'd love to talk to you more if possible. If not, have a great life. Here's my email." And then about a week later, she emailed me.
So Ryan, you can cook and you're romantic.
You can clearly tell that he loves Gypsy and he's over the moon having a wife. It was very interesting seeing them navigate through their marriage, not just a relationship, a marriage, going from prison to real life. And there were some challenges, of course. Gypsy thought that he was messy, and he thought she was like grabbing his stuff and like, you know, putting it all over the place. This series starts to take a turn, though, when we learn about Gypsy's true love, Ken. So, Ken was the man that Gypsy met while she was in prison as well. By the way, who are these guys? These guys are practically saying, let's skip the dating apps, let's go straight and find him in prison. I mean, what? But anyway, Gypsy explains that she had never felt a love like the one she had with Ken. She says she loved him with all her being, soul, and mind. It was a very passionate love. However, he broke up with her while she was in prison, and then she met Ryan. But she says that the love was so great with Ken, but so was the heartbreak. She had never felt sadder. But she says that the love was great with Ken, and had he not ever broken up with her, she would still be with him. Now, what we quickly discover in the series is that Gypsy's stepmom, Kristy, kept in contact with Ken all these years, and he pretty much told her that he never intended on breaking up with Gypsy. He says that people got into his head and said to him, if you truly love her, then let her go, and that this got to him, and that's why he did what he did, but it was never his intentions to break up with her. But when Ken says this to Kristy, Gypsy's already married to Ryan, and it's a little bit after she had gotten out of jail, but Kristy doesn't care. She tells Gypsy, and Gypsy finds herself in a bad position. Now, I've gone back and forth with this. I even asked my mom. I asked her if my sister was dating someone who was the love of her life. He breaks up with her. She's extremely, immensely heartbroken. She then gets with another guy. And you, Mom, find out that the original guy, who my sister loved like no other, still loves my sister and never wanted to break up with her. Would you tell my sister, knowing how much she loved the first guy? My mom said to me, if your sister was already married to someone else, then no, I would not say it. And I don't know, y'all let me know what y'all think about that specific situation. But let's continue. Once Gypsy finds out this information, the problems with Ryan keep intensifying. And to a certain extent, it seemed like she was even trying to create some more problems to sort of have a reason to start distancing herself from Ryan. Some of these things were, for example, one weekend she went on a trip with her dad, and Ryan kept trying to FaceTime her, and she refused to, and he got angry. And let's be fair, I said at the beginning that Ryan can be a little overbearing, but Gypsy magnified moments like these and said, oh, well, he's controlling like my mom. There was a situation when Gypsy was in a car with her sister. Gypsy then starts to talk about never receiving an orgasm, which, I mean, it's fine, but she then says that the other night, her and Ryan were doing it and that he didn't pull out, so he finished inside of her. The sister Mia says, oh, we gotta go get you a Plan B pill. Later that day, when Gypsy tells Ryan what she said to her sister, he got very mad. He says, baby, I'm a school teacher, and you can't be putting out things in our private life like that. And it's interesting because cameras were down, but this girl, Gypsy, gets her phone out and starts recording Ryan's reaction, which is a typical narcissistic move. But he made a great point. That's our private, intimate life as a married couple. There's no reason why you should be saying it to someone else, especially on camera. What does Gypsy say? Oh, well, you're trying to control who I can talk to, just like my mom did. There was another time when she was trying to get a dog, and Ryan was trying to tell her, listen, we have a small apartment, and having a dog is a lot of responsibility to take care of it. She gets mad again and says, well, you're treating me like a baby, like my mom did. So Gypsy kept gaslighting him and manipulating him anytime he had a real and valid concern or reason to get mad by throwing in that what my mom did to me. Girl, you got rid of your mom. What are you talking about? On the last episode of the show, Gypsy eventually gets back together with Ken. And it felt like she forgot all about Ryan. They even got matching tattoos, which Ryan says broke his heart. And he's been very vocal about all of the stuff that has happened since the show wrapped. So to finish this video off, Gypsy Rose is pregnant. There's questions about who is the father of the child. She claims that she's 100% sure that it's Ken. But what I want to say is that Gypsy was a victim. Horrible case. No child should ever be subjected to the things that she was. But she's also a criminal. And she is now a master manipulator and narcissist. She used Ryan to put money in her books and get her out of jail, just like she used that poor boy to do the act. She's entitled and she's doing way too much. And I blame, part of the blame I put on the people. The people are stupid and crazy for making her this big celebrity and this great hero as if she had just solved world hunger. I mean, come on, you guys. How many people my age especially to stop thinking through their TikTok brains and stop making everyone famous? Go touch some grass and kick a ball or something. It's ridiculous. It will be interesting now to see if there is a season 2, but you let me know all your thoughts on Gypsy Rose. You can let me know anything you think about the case itself, on what happened on the show, and what are your thoughts on her marriage with Ryan, Kristy telling her about Ken, Gypsy leaving Ryan for Ken, and Gypsy's clear manipulation, gaslighting, and using people. So there you have you guys. That pretty much sums up the 8 episodes of Lifetime's original series, Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup. So let me know your thoughts. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you would like to maybe, talk about the same story, but a different topic a little bit more in detail, let me know. We could definitely do that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.